Hi everyone, I'm Eszter Kovács, co-founder of DroneTalks, and today I'm here at the Airspace World first day, so I will check out what exciting new solutions are here on the floor regarding drones, advanced air mobility, and UTM, ATM integration, digital airspace, and everything else. Follow me. So I'm here at Frequentis booth, and we see everywhere Frequentis, social media, and I know you have the UTM solution. So I am just wondering, why is the different than the other UTM solutions? And I know you also work closely with an Austrian ANSP, Austro Control. I heard fantastic things about, Frequentis solution. So what is the difference with your software or?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Eszter, for giving me the chance to introduce the Frequentis UTM Suite. Frequentis UTM Suite is basically consisting of three main components, being the UTM Operation Manager, used by the operators out in the field to file flight plans, to receive messages from air traffic controller. Then there is the UTM Airspace Manager, which is used by the air traffic controller to manage their airspace, the drone traffic, to create geozones, etc. And in the back, this is where the magic happens, the UTM core services, being the common information services, which is enabling the seamless information exchange between all the stakeholders, being it police, air traffic controller, CAA operator. Information is collected, processed, and retrieved to the relevant stakeholders. And second part of the backend is the UTM services, being all the mandatory and optional services according to 664 regulation. And we already developed add-on services, additional ones. Asking or answering the question, what is the USP in Frequentis? First thing, we are very happy to have a growing customer base with Avinor, where the system is up and running on 17 towers all over Norway. With Estonia, EANS, the system is up and running since last year. In Austria, the system is up and running later this year. In Lithuania, it will be up and running. And last December, we signed a contract with Australia, so also there, the Frequentis UTM system will be managing the uncrewed traffic. One USP, a unique selling point of our solution is the architecture is service-oriented, microservice-based architecture. So we are completely agnostic towards connecting different other service providers to our system and offering other services, third-party services via our platform. Another USP is in Frequentis, there is ATM, where UTM is part of, but we also have year-long experiences in public safety, public transport, maritime, and these use cases we also combine with drones. So we integrate public safety use cases where we integrate LiveX, which is a public safety application used by controllers in ambulance or police control rooms, which is directly integrated into our UTM solution. So whenever there is an accident, for example, before sending the ambulance there, based on this integration between public safety and UTM, the dispatchers are already enabled to send a drone up front as a very first responder. So this is one USP and additional such use cases.
But that's super interesting. For example, I didn't know about that Frequentis has this other industries integration, and you like a hub.
Correct.
If I can say that, between the air, the ground, and that is really a unique value proposition, because this I didn't see in other UTM. I think they provide a UTM, which is great, and I think there are a lot of great UTM, providers there. But this integration between ground, air, and different stakeholders, this is the positivity of a big player I feel.
That's correct. And looking at this use case here with the Austrian Railway,
Yeah.
we have a cooperation with the Austrian Railway company ÖBB, where alongside the rail tracks, automated drone flights are carried out based on drone hangars. Drone hangar like the one you see here.
Yeah.
They are located alongside the rail network, and the controller is sitting in Vienna in the headquarters.
Yeah.
The drone is executing inspection flights 300 kilometers
but you
away.
get the information from the railway if there is a problem, like an accident or something to be, inspected. So the information comes, in a digital system from the railway.
That's correct.
And you dispatch a drone, you get the authorization already, and
in this case, this is the next step.
yeah, because it's super exciting, if that will be
yes,
coming.
This is the next step, but here it is used for inspection flights that are initiated by the railway company. Like for example, after heavy storms, the railway company would like to know whether the rail tracks are free of trees or any other disturbances, and that's the use case for this one. What we also did, and maybe we come to another USB, since in Frequentis we have ATM experience, very long experience. We are now sharing data with our automated tower solution. So the automated tower is used by the air traffic controller, and as you can see here, I created inspection flight plan, and drone is inspecting the taxiway here. It's created on the UTM operation manager by the operator. It has been approved by the UTM Airspace manager and is now shared with the automated tower. So my colleagues over there, they see that the drone is
coming.
A drone mission is ongoing now, and are coordinating the movements of the airplanes accordingly.
Fantastic. Roman, thank you so much. This is
Very
really
welcome.
impressive, and I'm really looking forward to see this whole hub integration, more and more coming closer to the time. Thank you so much. So, hi everyone, I'm here still at Airspace World Congress in Geneva, and I'm talking with Amit Ganjoo, who is a co-founder, or founder actually, and CEO, I downgraded him, sorry Amit, of ANRA Technologists. But jokes aside, I think ANRA Technologists has a latest development on this vertiport management system, infrastructure, smart infrastructure management system, I should call it. And I should admit, this is the first time when I know very little about what Amit does. So Amit, how does this work, and what is new about it?
So Esther, first of all, a correction. I am a co-founder because my wife puts up with me. So she technically, for her to allow me to run this business for so many years,
I knew.
She gets more credit. So she is definitely a co-founder in true life. So to answer your specific question, the vertiport management system is the digital infrastructure side. So if you look at it, everyone gets fascinated by these shiny aircraft, fancy looking eVTOLs and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, these aircraft are not just going to fly in the sky. They also have to come in and land and take off from whether it's existing airports, whether it's modified vertiports or greenfield vertiports. So unlike traditional smaller drones which can land and take off anywhere, these are designated places. So when you talk about traditional air traffic, when you're going into an airport, you'll realize that there are these aircraft that sequence after each other, and they're spaced out so they land one after other. That's called slot management, or sequencing of the aircraft into the final approach. Now when you talk about the eVTOL world, you'll have vertiports. So you need the digital infrastructure that can take the handoff from what's happening in U-space here and handle the ingress, egress out of the vertiport, and also the coordination with the surface movement and the logistics operation that are happening
On the ground.
at the vertiport,
Yeah.
just like what happens in the traditional
Yeah.
airport. So that is the vertiport management. It's the glue that ties digitally the digital airspace management to the ingress, egress, and then it also accounts for aspects like capacity, resource availability. So if I have 4 aircraft coming into a vertiport and I have only 2 landing pads and 2 charging pads available, obviously I can't accommodate. So do I have to slow down traffic till one takes off, or do I have to reroute them to another place? So that communication between the vertiport manager and the OEM, the operator, and the airspace or U-space system. So all those digital exchanges. So it's the digital infrastructure, the glue that ties it all together with the ground-based infrastructure.
So you kind of recreated the mini version, the AAM version of an airport management system.
Yeah, you can call it that. Yes.
You know, just if I want to
yes,
basic it really
yes,
down
yes.
for people who are not from AAM industry or drone industry.
But it has, yes. So from an analogy point of view, that would work. But it has a lot of other challenges that are not involved in traditional.
Yeah.
Like you don't have the limitation of how many charging pads do
Yes.
I have? Do I have because. And looking at things like contingency management,
exactly. Redundancy,
and
you know,
Yes.
deconflictions.
Yeah.
And so you basically have great partners already from vertiport industry, I assume, you know?
Yeah, so we have partners. We're working with eVTOL providers.
Yeah.
Like this platform has been in development for the last 1.5 to 2 years, and we released it for the first time at the Dubai Air Show last November. And in January at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, it was the Supernal, the Hyundai Motor Company, unveiled their aircraft, and the control center there was using our vertiport management system.
So Supernal has a collaboration with ANRA Technologies.
Yes,
I can say that. I think
yes.
it's already public, so
It's
we
public
can say it. I saw it on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, everywhere.
It's public, and then we are working with other physical infrastructure providers, operators as well on different aspects, whether it's working on initial digital twin simulation capability, because we have simulation and modeling. The same rail system can support simulation and modeling virtually as city planners and developers are looking at creating and deploying vertiports or repurposing existing heliports or setting up a vertiport at an airport environment, for example.
Exactly. That I see in Middle East nowadays a lot, you know, it's a hot topic. Thank you so much, Amit.
You're welcome.
The luck to talk with Kongsberg, Thomas, who will explain me what Kongsberg does exactly and why I'm even talking to the company.
Thank you, Eszter. So Kongsberg, we're here at stand F40 at Airspace World in Geneva. Kongsberg is a very large Norwegian company that works in a number of different sectors. We work in the defense sector, maritime, discovery, digital, and here we're presenting various solutions. One of them is our remote towers, but myself, I'm presenting our solution in the UAS world, so Iris Terminal.
So what is the solution at the UAS world, you know?
Yeah, so Iris Terminal is, it's a product of Kongsberg Geospatial, so we are one of the Canadian subsidiaries inside Kongsberg. We develop a lot of situational awareness tools. We develop an SDK which we sell to other clients and they build situational awareness tools. And then we also build some of our own, and one of those is Iris Terminal. So the purpose of Iris Terminal is to provide a situational awareness solution, one screen, which we can feed multiple sensors in, so as to enable beyond visual line of sight operations at scale. So in recent exemptions from the FAA, the verbiage or the wording of electronic observers is starting to be used. So in lieu of visual observers, we move towards electronic observers for long range beyond visual line of sight. And the screen that those electronic observers are using, in examples like Phoenix Air Unmanned, for example, is one of the exemptions. The screen is ours. So we use Iris Terminal to see our aircraft and all third-party aircraft in the flight environment.
So your solution is for safety focus.
Yeah, it's situational awareness to make sure that the digital airspace is deconflicted.
It's clean, deconflicted,
Yeah.
and everyone know about everyone's position.
Yeah, traditionally that would be, if we go back to early days, basic operations, you would have a pilot and a visual observer. As things become more complicated, we've got things like shielding and masking, and if our operations are more complicated, we need to bring in additional layers to make sure that that deconfliction, instead of being carried out by eyes, is done by sensors. The trouble is, if we have too many sensors, we're confusing the problem. We got a radar and a ADS-B and EOIR sensors. Now we've got 3 screens. So instead of doing that, we get all of these dots on a map and put them on one screen. So we have our own aircraft that we pull in through straight from the autopilot. And then we also get all third-party traffic, whether it's whether it's broadcasting or whether it isn't, and make sure that that airspace is deconflicted.
So we just had a fireside chat about this easy topic, and without going in too deep. But how does it work at aviation space today? Because I know it's a very hot topic. So how this easy works, and what do you think about how these drones, electronic constitutivity solution will develop with the time? Do you see anything or any good practices from aviation?
I think I'm very focused on the U.S. market, and I'm familiar with the U.S.
Yes,
I'm also a manned pilot in the U.S. And there's rules around mode CVALs and conspicuity and ADS-B broadcasting in the U.S. In an ideal world, if electronic conspicuity were across the board, it would make this process a lot simpler. There's too many associated costs with that. So I think as an industry, we're trying to find that middle ground between ensuring that there's safety, but ensuring that it's affordable. Otherwise, there's no scale and no purpose in really implementing drones. As Part 108 starts to take shape, going into the end of this year and next year, I think we'll see a lot more guidance. And those exemptions that we saw last year hopefully will serve as blueprints for how 108 can take shape, making sure that we're monitoring ground risk and air risk and trying to have as much detail of airspace deconfliction without making it unaffordable. There's a lot of great programs and projects out there, but if we're going to really have a true return on investment, BVLOS needs to happen. If BVLOS needs to happen, it needs to be done scalably.
100%. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Thank you, Eszter. Thank you very much.
We are closing the first day of Airspace World 2024 Congress, and we interviewed 3 stakeholders from the drone, advanced air mobility, UTM space. So we hope you enjoyed those insights. The Congress is definitely worth to visit, and myself and Lorenzo will also have a few key takeaways, from the Congress. Also follow us here on YouTube. Please do follow, because we really would like to reach the 1,000 subscribers. And if you are interested to attend our executive level only event in November in London, where peers can meet, drop us a line and attend our real cities.